Grace and peace. Thank you so much for joining me on another discussion. I hope that you are all doing well and taking care of yourselves. I welcome you to this video, to this conversation. And I think it's important so that we can continue to set things in perspective and continue to view the narcissist in their rightful position and put their responsibilities back onto them. A lot of the times, when we've been in relationships with a narcissist, we end up being blamed for so much. They project their own insecurities, their own inabilities onto us. They blame us for their failures. And it doesn't matter whether this was a spouse, an intimate partner, whether these are narcissistic children, narcissistic friends, or even parents, or anybody in society, your boss, your church members, your church leadership. It doesn't matter what capacity they are, as long as they're a narcissist and they've affected your life. But here's the thing, they really do cause their own downfall. And so many times we feel like we're disadvantaged because of the nature of the relationship. This is part of the illusion that is narcissistic abuse. It's all smokes and mirrors. You're not at a disadvantage. By the end of this conversation, I hope that you would see yourself in your position differently. There's a saying that betrayal hurts because it's always done by somebody who is close to you. It's always done by somebody you know. And that's true. And that's why it hurts. Because for anybody to truly affect you and hurt you in that manner, they have to be close to you. Think about relationships with narcissists. Mothers, fathers, children, spouses, intimate partners, whatever. There's a level of us being close or an attachment that is close, and that's why it hurts. What hurts even more is we find out that this was something that was thought out. It was not haphazard. They actually sit and think about what they want to do, and they actually devise new ways to bring pain, horror, and to cause torment in our lives. And they're unashamed about it. And we ask ourselves, why me? What was wrong with me? Why would they do this to me? They start off by showing you love. Well, it's not even love, but it's an illusion of love. And they do this to hurt you. Because they know we want love, we need love, especially children. But they're never giving true love. They serve illusions. You know, the Bible tells us that their father, the devil, is an angel of light. And I've kind of been pondering on this for a while, and I'm going to continue to look into it and pray about it. But like, if he's an angel of light, what kind of light is he when he represents darkness? So is it an illusion of light? Because their love is an illusion. Everything from the kingdom of darkness that is presented to us is an illusion. Every promise the devil makes to anybody who comes into agreement with him to serve him is an illusion. He cannot fulfill those promises. He is the father of lies. When he speaks, he lies, and that is his mother tongue. We cannot expect anything other than lies. And so it's all an illusion. They are self-serving. Narcissists are self-serving. It doesn't matter, again, the intimate relationships, all those moments of passion in your marriage, those intense moments where you feel like you're communicating your heart with somebody. All of this betrayal is sealed with a kiss. Betrayal that is sealed with a kiss. My, how that hurts. The truth is, these people are planted and they are being used by the enemy. And while it may be difficult to wrap around your mind how somebody you can share your most intimate and most vulnerable moments with is so eager and willing to hurt you, it's the truth. And it's something that we have to accept so that we can continue to move in our journey of healing. I want to draw your attention to Luke chapter 22. When you have time, go and read all of it. You may want to even read different translations so you can just get a broader idea of everything. But in this chapter, right, we find the chief priests and the teachers looking to get rid of Jesus. Why? Why would they? Because they were serving their father, the devil. He did not want Jesus to fulfill his assignment. And so they were seeking somebody who would help them fulfill this assignment. And who did they find? None other than Judas. And you know what's so interesting is within this passage, it says that Satan entered Judas. Now, this is one of the very rare times we see that Satan actually enters into somebody. So this, for us, is evidence of possession. To possess means to own, to take control of. Judas was possessed. But you know, it says that they talked about the betrayal with Judas and he consented. So he came into agreement. So the mere fact that it says that he consented makes me think that there was moments of clarity prior to his betrayal, that he knew what he was doing. Narcissists know exactly what they are doing. Just like Judas was possessed, so are they. Now, Satan, let's get this straight, is not omnipresent. He cannot be everywhere at all times. But because of Jesus and his assignment, he had to go into Judas because he wanted to get the job done. For all of us, he uses his raggedy, dusty minions. And he ends up using them to work against or to oppose God's ultimate plans for our lives. And not only just for our lives, but for the kingdom of God. Now, here's the thing. It's so interesting. This chapter was so interesting to me because it says that Judas consented. So we've got to know that these narcissists come into agreement with the enemy's agenda to bring havoc into your life, to betray you. They actually want this to be your downfall. But remember, what the enemy meant for evil, God turned it around for your good. This passage of scripture goes on to say that they waited, Judas waited for the opportune time to hand Jesus over. Isn't this just like the narcissist in predator mode, waiting for the moment where they can bamboozle you, waiting for the moment where they can catch you off guard and begin to devalue you? Begin just when you least expected it. They can begin to run you through the ringer. But that's what they did. That's what Judas did. Caused betrayal on such a large scale. And what's so interesting is a lot of the times we ask ourselves, how could they do this to me after everything that I did for them? I loved them. I cared for them. I was willing to help them achieve whatever their goals, dreams, whatever it was. We show them sacrificial love. We show them servant love. And when I say servant love, I don't mean that you're a doormat, but you're offering servitude. You're there to help. service. But the interesting thing about this, and I want you to take note of this, is that prior to this happening, prior to Judas kissing Jesus in the garden, they had the Last Supper. And one thing that happened there is Jesus assumed the role of a servant leader and actually washed the feet of his disciples, including Judas. The very one, and I mean, when you wash somebody's feet, he had to be on his knees in a position where he's humbled. He humbles himself. How many times did you humble yourself before the narcissist? How many times did you put their needs before your own? How many times were you serving? How many times were you demonstrating acts of love? And here they come with a kiss of betrayal. And you're left staggering and wondering, how could you do this? You're trying to catch your breath because the pain is so intense, and you just can't believe what happened. Like, listen, you've been bamboozled. And the crazy thing about it is, this was right at the Passover, and we know narcissists always ruin special occasions. But here's the thing. This was supposed to be the downfall of Jesus. It was supposed to be the end. It was supposed to silence everything, and these narcissists and their devil father would be able to live whatever life they thought that they could. Let me remind you, what the enemy meant for evil, what the devil meant for evil, God meant for your good. He had an answer to this. I told you before, the devil has been losing since the beginning. The narcissist has been losing since the beginning of time. And this is just another scene where he loses, because what he did not know, although Jesus went to the cross, was crucified, died, buried, he rose again. You may feel like you've been crucified. You may feel like this pain that you are experiencing would cause you to not breathe, would cause you to lose yourself, would cause you to lose your mind. Some do lose their lives. Some totally lose their minds. You feel like you're misunderstood, that no one would understand you, that you're rejected, that you're abandoned, that you're not good enough, and that you cannot. Sometimes it feels like you just can't go on. And so you feel like you've been hung on the cross, and that you too have been crucified in your own situation, in your own way. And when you begin to experience the darkness of the depression and the sorrow and the loneliness and the burden of the shame and the guilt drowns you, it feels like you're buried. Let me tell you this again. Sometimes those dark spaces are all that you need, because it's in those dark moments where seeds begin to germinate and life begins to take form. It's in those dark moments, in the midst of our pain and sorrow, where we cry out to God. And it's in those dark moments, oftentimes, where our destiny and our purpose collides. The grace of God finds us. And it's in those moments, a lot of the times, where we begin to cry out from such an authentic place and pure need, knowing that, Lord, if you don't help me, nothing and nobody can. And he answers, and he responds, and he brings us back to life. Penicillin was made in a dark place. Caterpillars go in a cocoon, a dark place, and emerge as butterflies. Seed goes in the ground, is covered and buried. That's a dark place. But out of that, fruit trees that will bear fruit for years and years and will continue. Each tree, each fruit has new life in it. Life sustaining. Legacies are created. Listen, the moral of the story is, after the enemy used Judas for what he wanted, Judas came back to himself because the enemy departed from him. The assignment was done. Jesus was handed over, and the enemy thought, this is it, it's over. How many times has a narcissist underestimated you, thought that you would just curl up and that would be it, only for you to emerge bigger, stronger, and better than before? And now here they come, hovering, trying everything to take down not just you, but your children, your business, your reputation, everything. Pay that joker no mind. Because just like Judas, they are left with moments of clarity where the Bible tells us that he had great sorrow, so much so that he ended his own life. Why did he end his own life? Because the enemy was no longer in him. Satan had walked out of him because his purpose was complete. Listen, narcissists are being used. They have moments of clarity, but they continue to agree to be used. However, they are going to be their own downfall because of their own decisions. It doesn't matter if they look like they're winning. It's only for a season. And it does not matter how long that season is. Their seasons are their seasons, and that is their business. We focus on our seasons. What is our season about? What is the season teaching me about myself? What are my takeaways? That's what we care about. Allow God to help you continue to grow and learn. Ask him about what your particular season is for, so that we don't repeat certain lessons. Ask him to continue to teach you. Ask him to make you a skillful warrior. Ask him to give you a spirit of discernment. Ask him, and I'm telling you, he will reveal it to you, and he will sharpen you. Iron sharpens iron, and he is the best to do that for you. I just want to thank you so much for your time. I hope that this message is encouraging and inspires you to continue to go forward. It doesn't matter what they did. I know what they did is hurtful, but they are going to hurt more at the end of the day because of their actions towards you. You have purpose, and your purpose is so great. So continue to pursue that. So continue to be good to yourself, and God bless you.